Hello everyone, welcome along to another episode of Football Manager Therapy. I am of course your host Tony Jameson, and joining me as always is the one and only Rich Owens. Rich, how the devil are you, buddy?
I'm very well, thank you, mate. I'm very, very well indeed. It was hot today, and I didn't realise until mid-afternoon because I've spent the day inside with the curtains drawn. As is my wont, I went outside to pick the kids up from school and just started sweating. It was horrible. So
it's a warm one, isn't it? We're in the middle of another heat wave, unfortunately. Well, heat wave, of course, for UK standards is 3 days worth of sun, but this is proper heat wave stuff where we've been advised to drink water by the government. So there you go.
There you go. So let's listen to them. And mine's it's not a tap water issue. It's just squash. Everything's fine. I promise. It's just how it comes out
as well.
It has, yeah. It's gin and juice. It's brilliant. Can't rate it highly enough.
Yeah, exactly. But loyal viewers and loyal listeners will, of course, be very aware, particularly those on YouTube, will be aware that it's just me and you tonight, Rich.
I know.
We figured we'd do a bit of a catch up because we haven't done a proper me and you one for a little while. So we thought, obviously, we're having loads and loads of guests in and we're having a fantastic time with that. We thought now would be a good time to do a little catch up on TJFM versus the community. Now, of course, over the last few weeks, we have talked a little bit about the monthly challenge that we've got going on. If you're in the Discord, then you'll have seen it. The challenge is a hark back to the original FMT challenge. Myself and the OG of the podcast, Matt, did when we first started off. We did the Scandinavian Triple Crown. Of course, we've already had some people saying, why have you not got Finland and Iceland there? That's a Nordic challenge. That's not the Scandinavian challenge, it's the Nordic challenge. So we are doing the Scandinavian Triple Crown. So it's to win the top division in Norway, the top division in Sweden, and the top division in Denmark, in that order, starting at my club, Oddsball Club in Norway. And I think we can say, first of all, thank you for people taking part and posting their updates in the Discord. It's fantastic to see people getting on board with it because it's not an easy challenge, this one, which again we'll talk about a little bit as we go through. We are, of course, shout out to the United City FM, who's doing it as his save on stream and is currently in about season 30.
Yeah, Kev, it's taking Kev a while. It's taking Kev a while, bless him. And Kev's a man that knows what he's doing as well. We've brought this up before. There are two schools of kind of thought when it comes to FM content. You either watch people that are good at the game, or you watch people that are entertaining. Tony and I fall into the entertaining category. Like Kev is very good at the game, and even he's not flying through it. So it just goes to show it's not the easiest thing in the world to do.
No, so thankfully we've given people 2 months to do it. Because we figured that makes perfect sense, right? Well, everyone can get a season done in a month, so surely you can win 3 domestic titles in 3 months, 2 months possibly. I will say we've had some people finish the first seasons. We've already seen some people win the Norwegian League. Okay. Now, not going to name names, right? Because obviously, we want to do it as a finished product at the end of the challenge, as I say. But we will say that some people have won the Norwegian League already. One of those people is on this screen. One of these people is not on this screen. One of us has not won the Norwegian League, and I'm sure we will talk about that throughout some of you are already worked out who this might be. I mean, answers down below in the comments if you can't wait till about maybe another 12 minutes before going, oh, so Tony bottled it, did he? Oh, I'm already giving it away.
Even without any additional context, I think it's easy to figure out who's done better based on the level of anger in the last 2 minutes. You can see it rising, creeping up. It's creeping up, isn't it? Yeah, 2 people on screen. One of us has done really well. The other one fucking hasn't. No, have they? No, the other one's not won the fucking league. Yeah,
one of us has done well. The other one's regretting this fucking challenge already. Right? The stupid challenge, right? And I don't even think we shouldn't have done it again. It's ridiculous. Never go back and redo stuff. No, I'd go. Let's do Sunderland, right? We'll do Sunderland again.
Oh, can we? I won Sunderland. Yeah, let's do Sunderland again. That was great fun. I loved Sunderland. Absolutely loved Sunderland.
Yeah. So the challenge is simple: win the Norwegian League with Odds Ball Club. Is that doable? Is that doable, Rich? Is that doable?
Yeah, it is actually. As it turns out, it is. It is doable. Yeah, it can be done. It definitely can be done in season 1. My approach to it, season 1, like, because I'm not as, you know, my exposure to Odds Ball Club, the team has been through Tony streams, through Tony's Odds Ball Club save. I haven't spent that much time around the club myself in this FM. When you load it up and you start looking at the squad, it's a really good squad. There are some great players in that squad, and it's the kind of team. There's pretty much an 11, and if you can keep most of them fit and firing through the season, you're going to be there or thereabouts. Bodø Glimt, Matt's boys, shout out FMT Matt. They're good. They're very, very good. They're the team to beat. It reminded me, the first few months, it reminded me of my old Lille stream save, in as much as you've got a chance, but Bodø Glimt are the equivalent of PSG. They're just going to smash. Their chances are they're going to smash everybody, and they're the team that you're going to have to chase. You're going to have to pretty much match them game for game. But Odds Club is good. Like, it's a good squad. Defensively, they're really strong. The midfield is good. I'd say the improvements I made were up front. I would say I invested the most amount of time in players up front. I mean, we've been texting each other all the way through season 1. As it turns out, Tony and I have actually had pretty much the same save in terms of signings, in terms of like the approach to it. Because I think we both bought in the same player in the first transfer window, which was which we'll get to. We'll get to. A little bit later on. But we approached it quite similarly, I think. Because like I said, this was almost like a retro FMT challenge. This is, it's a shout out to what Tony and Matt did before. So my approach to it, I thought it was only fair to kind of, bring a little bit of that in, because, in the January transfer window, or later on in the season, I made some signings. And it was a shout out to another of my favorite Tony streams, the old Peterborough save, because I needed somebody in behind the striker. That was the biggest problem I had. There was not much huge amount of creativity from the attacking players. I needed somebody in behind the striker, and that man was Sammy Schmodix. In he came, just so good, so good. And I was like, this is a shout out to what's come before me. In comes Sammy, love him.
I saw that on the Discord, and of course, again, viewers in the YouTube can currently see me showing my Peterborough shirt, which I proudly bought off the back of last year's stream. Of course, next to the Odds Ball Club shirt, which of course the club have very generously sent through. Sammy, I love Sammy to bits. He plays in that number 10 role superbly, especially in FM21. He was great in that. We played him as a shadow striker, and he was insanely good for League One and Championship. In this save, probably more of an AMC, I presume. Is that maybe how you're using him now rather than a shadow striker? Or
he started as a shadow striker, and then he kind of turned into more. Yeah, it was kind of. He then kind of flitted between like a AMC or occasionally like an advanced playmaker.
Yeah.
But he's still got ridiculously high determination, and that's one of the key metrics for me this year. High determination that will override any other attributes that aren't quite there. But in terms of the attributes he's got, he is on par with most decent kind of Norwegian Premier League players. So he was a big change. The main thing that I had to kind of adapt and overcome with was I lost out Tobias Lauritsen. Burnley came in for him in January, and it was one of those horrible. The board, when they just accept the bid, the offer's too good to turn down, and that was my biggest fear with a lot of the odds team, is that there were early doors. There are a lot of players who've got that little WNT symbol by their names, and it's big European teams. It's your Juventuses, and it's your Milans, and it's your PSGs, and it's next to all of your really, really promising up and coming players. Like I say, my approach was, if I can't get it done season 1, I'm going to struggle because those players are all going to be wanting to go off to Europe. Fortunately for me, Lauritsen was the only one that happened with. He left. I think he went to Burnley for about 1.6 mil, which just left a big gaping hole up front for me. And I needed
this. Sorry, so this is the problem, right? Like, just before we get into how you fixed a problem like Tobias going, because Big Toby is in real life, the fans love Big Toby, big strong centre forward, 6'1", 6'2", maybe even 6'3", puts himself about, scores goals. He's your target man, your advanced forward, your pressing forward. Everything goes to him essentially up front. And having done an odds Ball Club save already, of course, and still not won the title. I should probably say 5 years in, still not won the title. I should have taken a hint that this is going to take me a little longer than everyone else, right? Like, I've seen those players be swooped in and taken by, as you say, PSG, Inter, Milan, Zebra, right? They come in for these clubs, right?
They do.
For these players. The Kitolano brothers are both highly sought after. Runningen Jørgensen, which I love saying, is wanted by Juventus. I think he went to Juve on my save. Siva Ars, up the arse. He gets wanted by everybody. Bjertoft as well, the defender, is wanted. Tobias is wanted, and it's like, this is the problem with Norway, is that we know if you manage in say Britain, that Scandinavia is ripe for cheap talent. So the board are going to sell those players, whether you want them to be sold or not. And in my other save, I've generated a reasonable amount of money for, I think, Runningen Jørgensen, I think I got a decent deal for. Kitolano, I got absolutely rinsed on. I think we sold him for about like 1.7 million. And that he went to Milan, and Inter bid 4 million. He went to Milan. I'm just like, are you kidding me? Literally, are you kidding me? Like, but you get the loan back clause on these players. So if you're playing a long-term save, odds is perfectly set up for a long-term save because they've got so many incredible young players. Yanya, the fullback, I ended up selling. He went to Porto for like 9 million quid. These are brilliant young players that, if you can keep them past season 2, they are a great long-term club. But as a long-term save, the plan is definitely sell these players off, get younger players in, sell them off, get younger players in, and sell them off. But of course, your plan, as I'm sure most other people who have taken on this challenge, is one and done.
It was more of based on that team, and like you say, because those clubs, they can swoop in. It's to them, £3 or £4 million here or there on a young player it's a drop in the ocean, isn't it? But to a club the size of odds, those bids are going to be accepted. And it was definitely a case of, like I said, the approach was, if I can't get it done season 1, season 2 is going to be a struggle, because I know full well that, and as it turned out, I was right. Because, fast forward in the story, I did end up winning the league. I won it by 3 points. It was neck and neck with Bodø Glimt the whole way through the season. We were equal on points going into game week 27.
Of a 30-week season.
Of a 30-week season, yes. This is it. Only 30 games. So in game week 27, we are neck and neck. I've got them on goal difference, and I've got them on head-to-head, but I've got a trickier run. And we drew. We drew in game week 27. We drew 1-1. Fortunately, they dropped points as well, because my biggest fear was, if we have to match them game for game. We absolutely have to match them. And then game week 29, so the penultimate game of the season, they lost, which put us in the driving seat, and we ended up getting over the line 3 points ahead of them, which felt nice, felt very, very, very nice. But the problem that we had, and this, as we were saying, in the interim between kind of the end of season 1 and going job hunting in Sweden, that end of season window, offers came in for both the Kitolono brothers. Offers came in for, oh crikey, who else did the offers come in for? Jorgensen. The offers came in for Jorgensen as well. I think there were 4, maybe 5 of the starting 11 players. Ass as well. Some offers came in for him because who doesn't love the ass? Everybody, Europe loved the ass, and rightly so. It's what an ass he is. Offers came in for all of them, and I was like, I know that all of these are going to end up being accepted at some point. And even though in Norway, £10 million worth of transfer revenue is great, you're not going to find players of that quality that are going to want to come and play in Norway that are going to be able to replace them. So it really does put you on the back foot if you can't do it in season 1. But I say, very, very fortunately managed to. The thing that I really, really did like was when Big Tobias left. I say he left in January. Off he went to Burnley. He was top scorer in the Norwegian Premier Division by, I think he had about 10, he was 10 goals ahead of whoever it was in second to that point. He was scoring. He went through just a purple patch and just scored for fun for about 6-7 weeks. I think it was averaging 2.5 goals a game. Absolutely incredible. And that's why the Burnley bid came in. And I said to myself at that point, he will finish top scorer this season, despite not playing for half of it. And he got pipped on the last day. And I was furious. I was so angry. I was like, nobody's catching Toby.
That's fine. At least you don't have to pay him a bonus at that point. Like he's at a different club and you're going, oh, technically we still have to pay him a bonus, right?
Yeah. And I kept an eye on him. I kept an eye on him at Burnley. He came off the bench and scored an equaliser at home in injury time on his debut against Man City. And I was like, go on, Toby, club legend.
Brilliant.
And then didn't play again. That was...
There was part, because again, we say about we had the same save. Like Burnley came in and bought Big Toby from me as well. And there was part of me who was just like, get in. Because if I was Burnley, Big Toby would be who I'd be going after as well.
Exactly. He's perfect, isn't he? He's exactly what you want. He's like...
Yeah. I was like looking at all the other lads being like linked with like Milan and Inter, and I'm just like, no. You don't want to go to Inter. You don't want to go to Milan. Toby is off to Burnley. That's the sort of route you want to be going.
Exactly.
Has anyone considered a move to Charlton at any point?
Exactly. Wout Weghorst is going to carry him around in a pouch like a giant kangaroo, and it's going to be incredible.
I just thought, you know what, Toby, if I can't teach you, Big Dyche can teach you.
Exactly.
Go and hang out with Big Sean. He knows. He'll finish you off there, and make you into that world class target man.
Exactly.
We all know you're destined to be.
Exactly. But yeah, so that was a joy. I was happy. Like I said, it's the right club for him. It was the right place for him to have gone.
So who did you replace him with then? Because again, without a conversation. Well, I know that's not technically true, because once you said what you did, I was like, oh shit, yeah, I'm doing that. Like that's 100% what I'm doing.
Yeah, and it was another throwback. Ricky J. Jones, the answer. RJJ.
The answer to every single question. The question is, who scores goals? The answer is RJJ.
Yep, I did try and go in for King Louis, but he was otherwise engaged. I think it's Swindon.
Swindon lot, isn't it?
Exactly, Swindon lot. Slugs. Little slugs with no personalities. Disgusting.
Yeah. But yeah, RJJ, happy to come to Norway on loan, wasn't he?
He was delighted. I was shocked. I was like, this isn't going to come off. The board rating for me bringing RJJ, E. They were devastated. They were absolutely devastated. Didn't think he was good enough for the division. They were furious. And I was like, no.
I think the issue here with the board rating of Ricky J. Jones, right, is shirts are very, very expensive in Norway, right? Printing costs are very expensive in Norway. So maybe they've thought, from a commercial point of view, we're not going to sell many shirts unless we put RJJ on the back, right? Because J. Jones is going to cost like 90,000 krona, which is a lot of money. The shirts are about 70 quid a pop anyway.
Exactly.
J. Jones on the back. I mean, granted, it's no, Running and Jurgensen, but still, like it's up there, right?
Exactly. Plus, they'll have to fork out loads on just normal O's. Like, there's no accents. So
maybe they had to buy a normal O, and that was the problem.
Exactly. There's just somebody in the club shop with a pair of scissors cutting out all of the diagonal lines. Furious.
What are we supposed to do with this?
Exactly. But yeah, it's disgusting behaviour.
So when you said, so basically what happened, so you said, look, I've done this, because you had the Sammy Schmoddocks, up in the Discord, and I was like, that's a stroke of genius, beautiful. And I hadn't considered going to Peterborough or anything. If I hadn't even considered bringing players in, like the first transfer window, I just left the squad as it was. If I tell a lie, I signed Noah Solskjaer on a free transfer towards the end of the domestic transfer window, which is where you can get players on free. And you know what? He was brilliant. He came and he just did such a great job. Extra body in midfield. Defensive midfielder, can also play midfield, central if needs be. We played with a ball-winning midfielder and 2 Mazzalas in our midfield and just allowed players to run all over the place. And he scored a couple of cracking goals. When he finally found out that he could shoot, he scored a couple of cracking goals and really important goals as well, which was really, really good. And then we got to the transfer window, and Big Toby had gone, and you're saying there about like up front, like for me, Rista, the young player who's in the Norwegian, the odds youth system again. So if you haven't played the game and the save file, jump in. There's a lad in there called Rista. He's 16 in real life now. The club think he's a talent in real life, and they really are keen to see him develop. And my word, this boy is a player. He is a baller. Okay, he had 23 goals for me as a 17-year-old by the time the season finished. And again, in my long-term save with odds, he's of course still there and banging goals left, right, and centre. So he got me loads of goals. Stensrud got me loads of goals. And I was sort of really, really happy with that. Obviously, Toby got me loads of goals. So I wasn't finding goal scoring the issue. And I also wasn't really finding keeping the ball out an issue. I'm struggling to find out what my issue was, because looking at my team and looking at how we played, right? We went 13 games. Okay, it was game 13 was the first time we lost a match. Okay, we had 12 games unbeaten. Then we lost to Lillestrøm 1-0. Okay, fine. I'll take that. No worries. Okay. Dusted ourselves down, pushed on, started to go, right, let's do something. Bear in mind, at this point as well, 12 games, and we'd already beaten Bodø/Glimt away from home 3-1.
Nice.
And drawn 0-0 with Rosenborg, who again are the other team who are up there and thereabouts. And we've beaten Molde 2-0 away from home. So we've beaten all of the title rivals, right?
Nice.
And we're going,
nice.
This is pretty good. Fine, we'll have a little wobble as Lillestrøm. No worries, dust ourselves off. We'll go again. Okay. We then went on another bit of a tear up, beat Bodø/Glimt again 3-0, beat Tromsø 3-2, beat Rosenborg 5-0 at home. And I'm like going, we are doing some bits here. And there's part of me going, why could I not do this on stream when the club were watching? Like, we managed this. This took me 4 years to get these sorts of results. And here I am battering everybody. Like, people are going to be saying, Jameson's clearly cheated here, right? And I'm going, I haven't. This is 100% legit. I'm absolutely battering every team that turns up. And Valstead is his new goalkeeper kit, right, is just a brick wall, essentially. That's what he was. There was just nothing was getting past him. He was making some amazing saves that kept us in games we should have been beaten by. And so, as I say, we've beaten Rosenborg 5-0. We've been an 8-game winning streak, not even unbeaten streak, winning streak. Then we lost 3-1 to Kristiansand, because of course we would. Fine, no worries. Dust ourselves down, go again. 1-1 draw with Vålerenga. Not brilliant. Get to the same point that you are, 3 games from the end of the season. We are atop at this point. We're in the driving seat. Bodø/Glimt are 4 points behind with a game in hand. That sigh is the sound of bottles being lined up, isn't it? So let me paint you a story. Right? Just before we get to the 3 games to go, right? I put a thing in the Discord saying 10 matches to go. I'm on top. This is getting quite tense. Okay. 9 games to go. We play Bron away. Okay. We go 3-1 up. We then allow Bron back into the game, and it becomes 3-3. Okay. And I'm like, this could be the wrong time to start not seeing games out. We then defend 2 corners in quick succession. Okay, we scramble the first one clear, but they get a second one. The corner comes in again. We get it clear. RJJ, who I, of course, have also signed in the transfer window, had to battle to get him over the line because we needed to balance the wage budget. But he put a transfer request in, so he's almost going, I need to go towards Balcom. I said, yes, you do, Ricky. Yes, you do. So we get him in. Right. He chases this ball down the channel. The defender looks at it. He boots it back out. He just hoofs it anywhere, like proper Sunday League clearance. Goes back over the halfway line. Stefan Hagen, OBK legendary defender, 34, 35, wherever he is, sees the ball come over into his half. And, usually as a centre half, 3-3, you'll take the ball down. You'll just look for it, ping, or put your head on it. He just volleys it. Just volleys it straight back from where it's come. RJJ chases it into the channel, brings it down, and then he's pretty much on the byline at this point, whips it back across the goal line. Rista, who'd already scored 3 goals at this point, runs onto it and does that lovely, lets the ball run through his legs and backheels it through the keeper's legs. With about 6 minutes of that game to go. 4-3, we win. I'm giving it up. Just fucking get in. We've done it, right? Just going, this is the mentality we need. Okay. I've gone from thinking my team are bottlers to my team have got that winning mentality. So obviously we keep going. Then Stabæk, 3 games to go, comes around. Okay. We lose 2-1. The wrong time to lose our 3rd match of the season. Because that puts pressure back on us rather than on Buddha. And Buddha win the game in hand. Okay? So we start to go to the penultimate match. I'm thinking, it's fine. It's still technically in our hands. All we got to do is if we get 6 points, we've won the league, right? So, and we're at home, both games as well. Home advantage. What could possibly go wrong? Right? Espen Ruud's come back. Espen Ruud's been out all season. This is the perfect time. Bring Espen Ruud in, the club legend. He plays wonderfully against Strømsgodset. We take the lead. We have a great first half. We have a decent enough second half. And then with 10 minutes to go, I don't know what it is about me and goalkeepers. Right? Valstead has been incredible all through this season. He'd made multiple saves in the Strømsgodset match, which kept us in the game. And then with less than 10 minutes to go, the ball travels back to him and he passes the ball straight to the Strømsgodset centre forward, who just taps it into the net and just goes, oh, thank you, Tim, for leaving with my favourite food. He's embarrassed that he scored. And I'm going, I don't think we've got enough time to score a second goal here. We have not, which means we go into the final match of the season trailing Bodø/Glimt by a point. We're at home against Sandefjord, who have just about been relegated, I think, at this point. Maybe they have been relegated. I've tried to blank out my memory. Bodø/Glimt are away to Tromsø. Okay? So, start watching the match. Start getting myself excited. It's nervy and it's tense. It's very tense. Okay, and I'm watching this match. We should be better in this team. We have so many chances in the first 20 minutes. I'm like, it's going to be one of these games. I'm dialing the press up to full already at 20 minutes. I'm putting so much pressure on this team rather than going, it's fine, we'll break them down. I'm like, we need the goals now because we have to win, and then we have to hope that Bodø draw, because if Bodø draw, we win the league on goal difference, because we've got a goal difference of something like plus 70 or something like that, or plus 40 or whatever. We scored 70 goals. Sorry, we scored 70 goals. We've got plus a goal difference plus 45. There's plus 28 or something. So we win. We win the title on goal difference. We keep pressuring. We break the deadlock. 1-0. Right, okay, cool. We take the lead. We're going to half-time 1-0 up. We hear that Bodø are still winning 1-0 as well. So that's not ideal. We've got to do our bit, and then we hope everything else works, right?
Sure.
We go 2-0 up. We see a news flash come up that Tromsø have equalised. Oh, title on. But then we instantly see Bodø have retaken the lead. Okay, so it's this is the winning mentality, isn't it? This is what it's all about. You lose that lead, you go straight back and you score a goal. So all we've got to do is just play our game at this point. We get a third goal pretty much straight after it, and I'm like, cool, at least we've done a 3-0 win. You know, we've done what we've had to do. And then with about 4 minutes to go, we see that Tromsø have equalised. Absolute scenes at that point. I'm like, have we seriously managed to fluke this? Like we're gonna snatch victory from the jaws of defeat, right? Rather than the other way around, which is usually we're snatching defeat from the jaws of victory. And I'm just going, I think we might have done this somehow. And I think at that point, FM heard me. Because at that point, 92 minutes into the Tromsø Bodø Glimt game, Bodø Glimt score a third and win the title by 1 point. An absolute bunch of Bodø bastards.
Somewhere, possibly just outside Watford, early this afternoon, a man called Miles pressed the "fuck you, Tony" button because he knew. He just knew. It's like, no, it's time to ruin this. Before we started recording, I genuinely didn't know who was more upset about that, me or you. It's clearly you. It's clearly you. It's clearly you. I was so invested. I was so invested in that run-in.
Because I've been texting you all day about it as well, haven't I?
This is it.
It started with the goal. I text you the Rista goal and went, 9 games to go. Look what this has just happened. You were like, oh my God. And I text Matt as well. And he's like, wow. And then of course, like, don't worry, we can still fuck this up. And I was right.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There was when that goal came through, I thought that's the catalyst. That's the level for Tony's FM playing today. Because it was, we said it's just something for everyone in there, because it started from a ridiculous long ball and then it just finished with a beautiful piece of skill. So it's just something for everybody in there. It ticks all the boxes in terms of goals scored. So so you're now sat there coming off the back of an absolutely horrific defeat.
You know, I've still got the Norwegian Cup final to play, but I don't really think I care.
I have never been less arsed crashing out of a cup competition. I couldn't have cared less when I got knocked out the Norwegian Cup. I was like, oh well, that's just slightly less fixtures for me to have to play. Because at that point, I was like, I would rather focus on the league. So I was not fussed when I got knocked out the Norwegian Cup. So I think
I've now got a problem just before you get into your thing for next season, right? So I've now got a problem, right? So I've got the Norwegian Cup to play. We play Lillestrøm. Okay, so we could win that, feasibly win that. A bit of revenge for them actually beating us. We finished second. So we've now got Europe to contend with next season. In addition to having to try and hold on to our players.
Yeah.
Just made season 2 a hell of a lot harder.
I think you have.
I have to be honest, loyal listeners, Rich, members of the Odds Battle Club board, who may be listening to this podcast, friends over in Norway, the Rosenborg job is available. I have to now weigh up going, what is, like, can I do this again? Can I do this again? Can I get that Odds Battle Club side over the line? Or am I better? Because the challenge is win the league. It's not win the league in the most beautifully narrative structured way, which, you know, let's face it, will be fine in about 10 years' time. I could do it, right? But, you know, win the league with a bunch of Peterborough players. That's not the challenge, Tony. The challenge is try and win the league. Not sign Aidan McGeady. I don't know. Do I not? I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Like,
it's a coin toss, isn't it?
I feel, because I'm like so close to the title. But is it too close?
It's a tough one, isn't it? Because there's, like we said, there's so many of that first team that are going to get snapped up, and even if you have the budget, Have you got the, can you attract the players?
Have you got the pulling power?
Exactly. Have you got the pulling power? Can you attract the right level of player that's going to get you there in 2 seasons?
Well, we've got an optional £425,000 agreed transfer for Ricky J. Jones.
Oh, that's not bad. Optional.
That's not too bad. But that requires us to have £425,000 in the bank.
Well, yeah,
I don't know if we've got, but that means someone has to go for Ricky to come in. Or
exactly,
do we try and loan him again? Or if we do end up moving, do we say, hey, Ricky, you liked Norway, remember? You like cinnamon on your cappuccino. Why not come across? Have you considered living in Trondheim?
It's lovely this time of year. You'll
Ricky,
have a great time.
You like paying £9 for a pint, don't you? So beautiful clean air, healthcare for everyone, public services. You like all that sort of stuff, don't you?
Yeah, you're well into it. They may have health in Peterborough. I don't know. Who's to say? Who's to say? It may exist. Yeah, you're in a difficult situation. You're in a difficult spot, man. You're in a difficult spot, and I genuinely feel for you because it's. I know. Shout out David Nyholm, #1 mod on Twitch. He's made the jump on his save, and it's a tough one, isn't it? Do you go with your heart or do you go with your head? Well,
we all know what I'm going to do, don't we?
Oh yeah, of course we do. Of course we do.
I'm going to get sacked next season.
Yeah, so sacked by next August. It's going to be fine. And then there'll be no jobs available. Everything's going to be great.
Why is Tony in the 3rd division of Norway? It went wrong. It went massively wrong.
It's fine. I'm just adding layers. I'm adding layers. When I eventually win, it's going to be so much sweeter.
Yeah.
I am in a very, very different situation to yourself because obviously, won the league, which was nice.
You didn't need the obviously in there, but...
I felt it was necessary. Yeah. I won the league, Tony. It was really good. I started looking around at jobs because I didn't want to quit straight away. I didn't want to just hand in my resignation that day because I'm not a mercenary. Because like you said, it's a really weird thing. Was this not a challenge? I would absolutely be carrying on this save with odds. I would 100%, couldn't drag me away. I started looking around at jobs that were available kind of towards the end of the season. And there were, I think, 2 jobs in Sweden that were very unstable. That they were people were clinging on by their fingertips. One of them, I can't even remember the first team because I remember looking at the table and thinking that in and of itself would be a 4 or 5 season rebuild before you can even start thinking about challenging for, top 3, top 4.
Yeah.
The other one that was available was AIK. And I thought, now that is, I could, if I'm going to fall upwards into a job, that is not a bad job to fall upwards into. They were predicted to finish, I think, 3rd at the start of the season. They'd finished 8th, so they'd had a shocker by their standards. They had not had a good time of it. By the time I won the league, the job was available. I'm thinking, well, this is definitely worth an application. I chucked one in and ended up, I've got an interview, which I was not expecting. They kind of, go through all the standard kind of, job interview questions. I thought I'll chance my arm a little bit when they started asking about things like budgets. I was like, well, it's like, here's our proposed budget. They were offering, I think it was something around the £800,000 mark. And I was like, if you want me to push for, a top 3 finish at least, I'm probably going to need a little bit more. He said, here's our wage budget. How do you feel about the wage budget? I'm like, if you want me to push for that top 3 finish, I'm probably going to need a little bit more. And I'm thinking, well, I'm chancing my arm, but we'll see. Eventually, they come back with the job offer. They're like, you've got the gig. And I'm like, this is fantastic. Everyone's a winner. Happy days. Go me. But there's a bit of a spanner in the works because they want to give me the job. Unfortunately, my compensation from odds is too expensive for them and they don't want to play it. So I have to go hat over heart to the odds board. I'm like, hello, sirs. Hello, you wonderful, wonderful people. I'm just wondering if instead of lots of money to release me from my contract, if you consider significantly less money.
Because I've asked them for a bigger budget, and it turns out
I've asked them for money, and now they don't have money for me. Would you consider less money for me instead of the more money that you're entitled to? And God bless Oddsball Club, those beautiful, beautiful Scandinavian gods. They went, yeah, go on then, you little scallywag, off you go. But money
don't
means
take
nothing
any of
to
our players.
Don't take any of our players, because technically you can't afford to anyway. It's like, thank you guys. So off I went skipping to Sweden, and there I am. And we've done a pre-season.
Mm-hmm.
Loyal listeners, those of you who are taking part in the challenge, I'm going to let you in a little secret. And by little secret, it's probably something that a lot of people who've played this game as much as we have know about. And I say know about, actually utilize, because I've become obsessed with, and it's something I've never done before. I've never tried it before. When putting in offers for players, I have never even considered clicking on the selling club wage contribution button before. I now can't stop clicking on it, because it's the best thing that's ever happened to me. I'm looking at the squad. The squad is good. It's not odds good, but there is some talent there. Like most Scandinavian clubs, there are a group of players that in 2 or 3 seasons' time are going to be very, very good. Because speed is a factor with this challenge. I want to see if I'm going to try and push on, I want to put myself in a position where I could be aiming to win this league in 2 or 3 seasons. Because obviously there are some big teams in there anyway. Like, the biggest one, you've got clubs like it's your clubs like your Malmo. They're the ones that you're looking to knock off the perch.
Well, you say Malmo, and the interesting thing with where I was with my save was, had I managed to get the league done, the Malmo job is very, very insecure at present.
Oh, that's upsetting.
And I maybe had one eye going, oh, this is a nice transition. Because again, we're talking for people who are maybe considering taking the challenge on themselves. The challenge is a cumulative amount of time. So yes, it might take you 1 season to win Norway, but when you move to Sweden, you've then got to move to another club in Sweden. Like, you've got to go to a club that, so you want to kind of get as high up as you can do. So it's not just a case of, oh, that's fine, I'll jump straight to AIK or Malmo. Those jobs aren't available. You might have to go to Helsingborg, which is going to take a few-year rebuild, or then we'll go there, but then we'll hope to jump up a little bit. Gothenburg possibly is always a nice one to jump up. And then, of course, when we get to Denmark, then it's all kinds of fun, because their league structure is crazy. And we've left that one till last, because that's where the fun bit is.
It's for the best, because if you're going to have a breakdown during this challenge, it's going to be in Denmark. Genuinely, my plan was, if the AIK job didn't come off, I was like, well, I'll holiday for a few months and then just see who starts badly, and then maybe see if I can, elbow my way into a job. But yeah, I've landed on my feet with AIK. There's some good players in that team. Again, quite similarly to odds, it needed strengthening in terms of attack, because the thing that I'd forgotten, you've got 2 Swedish legends. You've got Mikael Lustig, the right back, I think formerly of Celtic, and you've also got arguably the greatest Swedish footballer ever, Seb Larsson, at 36 years old. The man has not missed a step. He is still, attribute-wise, like his technicals, flawless. Like, his mentals are flawless. He's 36. He's a year younger than me. And physically,
free kicks.
That's all I'm doing. Yeah, he's a deep line playmaker. He can just trot about and he can make passes, and that's all I expect him to do. I'm looking forward. We're gonna have a great time. But the players,
get Barry Bannon across. Get Barry Bannon and Seb Larsson. That'd be.
I've tried. I've already tried. Of course, I've tried. Of course, it was the first thing I did. Literally a day in the job. I'm just going to approach Barry Bannon's agent. Oi,
is this why you asked for more money? Yes.
Yeah. It's not a war chest. It's just a Barry Bannon fund. Yeah. I'm going to give you an address just outside of Sheffield. Just send 100 grand there every month and just see what happens, please. I tried for Barry Bannon.
Is he trying to spend banana? Is he trying to spell banana?
Barry Bannon was the first selling I tried to make, and they just laughed me off. I did manage to bring in Kenneth Zohore from West Bromwich Albion. Ivory Coast international striker. And this is this is the beauty of it, guys. This is the beauty of the Ask Selling Club for wage contribution, because he was transfer listed for about 14k. And I was like, that seems like a reasonable price for somebody who's going to be able to do a job. They accepted the bid, but straight away was like, I just don't think financially you're going to be able to meet my demands. So we went back in a week later with the exact same bid, but this time I put Selling Club wage contribution, and I got them to agree to about 7.5k a week. So I've got Kevin Sahor in, and I think I'm paying him something like, I think I'm paying Kevin Sahor about £1,000 a week. West Brom are covering the vast majority of the rest of his contract. I'm like, this is fine. This is absolutely fine. I will now just do this for everybody. I'll do this for every signing I make from now until the end of this save, because it's made me very, very happy. Sam Gallagher has come in from Blackburn. Blackburn are paying £7,500 a week of his contract. I'm paying him 300. It's so good. It's the best thing that's ever happened to me. I'm so happy.
I feel as though you've found an exploit here, Rich.
It's so good.
I feel as though morally,
yeah, I won't stop doing it. I'll never stop doing it. It's the best thing that's ever happened. The other nice thing that's happened. This isn't an exploit. This is just the universe.
Have you got a Selling Club must buy house or something for you? Have you got Selling Club must supply you a collection of sandwiches and nice trousers? Have you clicked that button? Have you?
Yeah, sandwiches and trousers. I'm set for life. Just a lovely pair of men's slacks. It's all it took. All it took to get over the line. For me, the best player in Odd's entire club, my favourite player is Philip Jorgensen. I love him. He was the backbone of my title-winning team, and he was the first player who, after season 1 had ended, he was the first player that one of the big European clubs came in with a bid for. I think it was Milan came in, and I rejected it because I was like, I just want to make sure that whoever takes over at least has the option of buying and selling these players. I start looking at the loan list, just to see who's listed for loan, who's available, who might be keen on coming to play for me. And the first thing that always catches my eye is the Selling Club or the club loaning. And, there's a fair few kind of Scandi teams on there because England's loaded into the database. There's a few kind of Premier League and Championship clubs. And right at the top of the list, there are a couple of Juve players. I'm like, there's no point in me even checking. There's no point in me even just investigating this any further because it's Juve and there's going to be no interest. And top of the list is Philip Jorgensen, who Juve have bought. Apparently, Odds didn't want any kind of loan back clause, and they've made him available for loan. And as it turns out, me and Philip, we're like that. We're Bezos. We are best mates, and he jumped at the chance to come and
especially because some Juve are paying his wages as well.
Exactly. Yeah, Juve. I've offered. I think I'm paying the majority. I think it's one of the players I'm actually paying for. I felt really dirty, but I was like, also, so he's back. So there's a little bit of added narrative. Is that I've got the linchpin of my title-winning team. Of all the people in the world that you could want to pair him up with, if you look at that Juve team and name a central midfielder in that Juve squad, you would want somebody to learn from more than Seb Larsson. I can't think of a single one. There isn't one. Because there isn't one. It can't be done. So, yeah, he's going to sit next to Seb Larsson, and Seb Larsson's going to teach him everything he knows for the next year. So I'm looking forward to how this season goes. Like I say, we're doing a bit of pre-season. Haven't started playing any real competitive games yet, but I'm pretty happy with how it's gone so far.
I like Sweden. I like the Swedish league. From what I remember, I think there's a youngster limit as well. I think you've got a certain amount of young players you've got to play as well. So again, it plays differently to Norway. Norway, you've only got a squad of 25 players, and you have to manipulate that as you go through the season. And when players get long-term injuries and stuff, you have to take them out to put someone else in. But yeah, I'm sure Sweden there's a little thing where you've got to play a certain amount of younger players. So again, that does slightly change things up again. So I'm looking forward to hearing how you get on. I'm looking forward to potentially season 2, wherever that may be. It might be at Odds, it might be at RBK. It definitely won't be at Mulder. Even though that job's also available. The Peterborough job's available. I might just sack the save off and go to Peterborough again.
Yeah. Tony's had a breakdown. It's all gone wrong for Tony. Yeah,
Tony's gone rogue. I mean, they call Peterborough the Norway of the South.
Exactly. Give it another month. Everyone's in the Discord. It's like, yeah, I'm challenging for honours in Sweden. How are you getting on, Tony? So I've just got knocked out in the semi-final of the Papa John's. I'm fuming.
But I'm looking at the Bordeaux job now. What? you do all the challenges at once? Yep.
Just going back there, and this time I'm going to win them all. It's going to be great.
Oh yeah. So hopefully next time we talk about it, we might be a little bit further on, but I'm presuming not for me. Well, we'll be further on in time, but whether we'll any closer in the title, I think that was my shot. That was my shot, and I think I've blown it.
Look out for Tony's season updates on YouTube Shorts. Tony, have you won the league yet? Nope. Tune in next week, boys. We'll take it from there. Oh, dearie me.
Yeah, I think that's probably about a fair comment, to be honest. If you've been listening and you fancy a little crack at the challenge as well, we are running it till we think till about episode 100. It may go a little bit longer if people are enjoying it, but the plan is to try and get it done for episode 100. So all the details are in the Discord. Of course, the links to the Discord are in the description below, and we're usually attached to my Twitter as well. So do come and join us, come and hang out. It's a fun place to be. We obviously got loads of interesting discussions regarding tactics, and obviously let us know how your saves are getting on. This challenge itself has now become quite popular, so people talk about that. Post your screenshots and stuff, and have a little update as to how you're getting on. Of course, there's also normal football chat as well, cookery and bakery, fitness, and of course mental health in there as well. So it's a great place to hang out, so do come and join us over there, and of course do feel free to take part in the challenge. Rich, you want to let us know where we can find you? Let us know where you're streaming over the next few weeks.
Yeah, of course. You can find me if you want to watch me streaming. It's twitch.tv/RichOwensFM. We are currently streaming the Mad Scientist 9293 database. It's Sheffield Wednesday in the past. We're having an excellent time. If there's one thing the games are not, it's boring. So just come and hang out and watch just constant 5-4 wins and losses. The duality of man, delight and misery, about 10 minutes apart. It's brilliant fun. If you want to find me on Twitter, it's @RichOwensFM, and that's also quite good. Tony, where are the good people finding you and all the things you're up to?
Yeah, and I appreciate that, Rich. And yes, do definitely go and check Rich's streams out. They are a lot of fun at the minute. I'm fairly obvious places. You can find me on Twitter, which is @TonyJameson, and on Twitch is Tony Jameson FM. We're of course doing the Story Hunter save at the minute, where we're currently at York, where we actually got promoted. I should have mentioned that on the podcast as well. Maybe we'll talk about that in the next episode with Tom FM, because we've got Tom FM next week, which we're very, very much looking forward to. But yeah, got promoted with York. Didn't win the National North title, because of course, why would I on the last day of the season? Instead, I won the playoffs because, narrative. So yeah, twitch.tv/Tony Jameson FM for that. Of course, feel free to follow the podcast, which of course is Twitter/FMT Pod. It's Football Manager Therapy on YouTube. And as you know, on the 7th of November, we have FMT Live at the Canal House in Nottingham. Tickets are selling. We're very, very happy about that. It looks like it's going to be a really good evening. So we've got an hour's live podcast record. We've got some special guests you are not going to want to miss. We may stream it on Patreon patreon.com/FMT Pod. That's the only place you're going to see it if you're not in the room. We're not going to put it out anywhere else. And once the show is finished, we're just going to have a bit of an FM meetup. Loads of people are going to be down there. It's going to be really, really good. The venue sells some cracking ales and whiskies and gins, and their soft drink selection is really good. They also do really good coffee as well. So we're doing a bit of a Nottingham takeover with FMT. So do get your tickets for that. The 7th of November, the Nottingham Canal House. Again, link is in the description below. So hope you all enjoyed this episode. Hope you are interested and intrigued in a Scandinavian challenge. And if you do fancy getting on board, please do feel free. Rich, best of luck in Sweden.
Thank you, pal. Best of luck in Norway again.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, thanks for that. What's Norwegian for job centre? I haven't learned that on my Duolingo yet, so I'll try. But no, hope you've enjoyed it. It's been a fun episode, and it's of course nice just for me and Rich to chat and hang out again. As we say, next episode is with Tom FM. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe. We will see you soon on another episode of Football Manager Therapy.